Born on July 10th, 1993, in Doncaster, South Yorkshire, England, Andrew Paul Gosden grew up in a close-knit family with his parents, Kevin and Glenys, and older sister Charlotte. Both parents worked as speech therapists, fostering an environment of intellectual curiosity and thoughtful reflection. Despite their Anglican Christian background, Andrew and his sister were not baptized, a decision left for them to make in due time. Andrew's exceptional intelligence and introverted nature were evident early on. Excelling academically, he participated in the Young, Gifted, and Talented program, showcasing his aptitude for mathematics and a reserved demeanor towards schooling, which, despite his success, he found unchallenging. Described as a deep thinker and homebody, Andrew preferred solitary activities like reading, gaming, and listening to music. His disappearance at 14 was a perplexing departure from his usual routine, leaving his family and investigators grasping for answers. In the days leading up to his disappearance on September 14th, 2007, Andrew exhibited unusual behavior. Opting to walk home from school instead of taking the bus, he withdrew a significant portion of his bank account and changed clothes upon returning home. The next morning, he left for school as usual, but instead diverted to purchase a one-way ticket to London. This decision marked the beginning of a baffling mystery, as Andrew vanished after arriving in London, leaving no trace of his whereabouts. Andrew's disappearance prompted an extensive investigation and a flurry of theories. Sightings in London and Brighton, combined with reported interactions under aliases online, fueled speculation about his fate. Theories ranged from potential grooming to accidental drowning or voluntary departure, each offering fragmentary insights into the enigma surrounding his disappearance. Despite numerous leads and sightings, Andrew's whereabouts remained elusive, leaving his family grappling with uncertainty and anguish. In December 2021, the arrest of 2 individuals raised hopes of closure, but subsequent investigation cleared them of involvement. Efforts to unravel Andrew's fate continued, with detectives urging anyone with information to come forward. As years passed, the Gosden family maintained vigilance, preserving Andrew's room and refusing to change locks in hopes of his eventual return. In September 2023, detectives announced the exoneration of the previously arrested individuals, underscoring the ongoing pursuit of truth in Andrew's case. Despite the setbacks, the Gosden family expressed gratitude for the thorough investigation and sought closure amidst the enduring uncertainty. Brandon Swanson, born on January 30th, 1989, in Marshall, Minnesota, was a 19-year-old college student at Minnesota West Community and Technical College in Canby. On May 13th, 2008, after attending 2 parties to celebrate the end of the spring semester, Brandon, although seen drinking, was not excessively intoxicated, according to friends. Despite his familiarity with the usual route along Minnesota State Highway 68 from Canby to Marshall, he opted for back roads that night. At approximately 2 a.m., Brandon called his parents, informing them that he had driven into a ditch on Lyon Lincoln Road, believing himself near Lind. He requested assistance and described distant lights as reference points. Despite attempts to locate him using flashing headlights, communication became strained. Subsequently, Brandon decided to walk towards the lights, directing his parents to meet him at a nightclub in Lind. However, he abruptly exclaimed, "Oh shit!" before the call abruptly ended, leaving his parents anxious and without further contact, despite repeated attempts to reach him. Reported missing at 6:30 a.m. the following morning, initial police response was dismissive. However, subsequent examination of Brandon's cell phone records revealed his location near Porter, about 25 miles from his stated position. His abandoned car was found in a ditch near Taunton, showing no signs of foul play. Search efforts involved hundreds of volunteers, search dogs, and aerial surveillance, covering both land and the Yellow Medicine River. Canine units traced his scent to the riverbank, suggesting a possible water entry, but no conclusive evidence emerged. Legal hurdles hindered comprehensive search efforts, with some landowners refusing access to their property. Despite efforts to resolve these issues, progress remained limited due to resource constraints and evolving complexities, including specialized canine availability and property rights disputes. It is also important to note that Brandon had a visual impairment since childhood, and the absence of his glasses raised concerns about his ability to navigate safely in the terrain. Authorities considered scenarios, including falls into unmarked cisterns and potential hypothermia due to the cold temperatures that night. However, conclusive evidence remained elusive. In 2023, Sheriff Wallen reported ongoing tip submissions, including accounts of potential altercations on the night of Brandon's disappearance. Despite investigative efforts, these leads yielded no tangible results, leaving his fate unresolved. No physical evidence beyond his abandoned car has been recovered. Marsha K. Lyle, a 41-year-old graduate of the University of Central Florida, disappeared without a trace on May 8, 2020, while traveling from Alabama to Florida to visit family. Battling schizoaffective disorder, alongside an inoperable brain tumor, Marsha's final known location was Jacksonville, Florida. Having relocated to Seal, Alabama, to be closer to her Seventh-day Adventist church, Marsha's regular contact with her healthcare surrogates, her mother and sister, suddenly ceased in April 2020, causing great concern. Despite extensive searches and appeals, authorities uncovered no signs of foul play. Marsha's family remained steadfast in their hope, scouring homeless shelters and hospitals in search of any hint of her whereabouts. As time continues to pass, the determination to locate Marsha K. Lyle remains unwavering, with her loved ones turning to social media platforms like Instagram and Facebook to share cherished memories and appeal for any information that might bring her home safely. While details on her case may be scarce, our collective hope remains steadfast for Marsha's safe return. Maura Murray was born May 4th, 1982, in Hanson, Massachusetts, the fourth child of Frederick and Lori Murray. It was February 9th, 2004, when 21-year-old Maura, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts, vanished after a single car crash on Route 112. Despite extensive national attention, investigators are still no closer to unraveling the events of that fateful winter night. Prior to her disappearance, Maura had faced legal troubles stemming from the use of a stolen credit card for food purchases. On the weekend of her disappearance, Maura had spent time with her father, Fred, shopping for a car and dining with a friend. She later attended a party on campus, where she stayed until the early hours of Sunday morning, February 8th, before returning to her father's hotel after a car accident. The following day, Maura's activities were documented through phone calls and transactions, including inquiries about renting a condo and searching for hotels in Vermont. She withdrew money from her bank account, purchased alcohol, and retrieved accident report forms from the motor vehicle registry. Classes were canceled due to snow on the day Maura vanished. She left Massachusetts, likely via Interstate 91 North, with no disclosed destination. Hours later, her car was found crashed into a snowbank along Route 112. Witnesses reported seeing Maura outside her car, seemingly uninjured, but she vanished before authorities arrived. Despite extensive search efforts and national attention, Maura's whereabouts remain unknown. Her family has tirelessly advocated for her, utilizing social media platforms and launching a podcast to keep her case in the public eye. As of the latest update, the case remains open, with authorities actively reviewing new leads and information. Nicole, born on April 1st, 1977, was the cherished only child of Jeanette and Arthur Morin, who resided in a penthouse apartment in Etobicoke borough of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. On July 30th, 1985, Nicole, described as a cheerful child with many friends, left her home to meet a friend at the lobby for a planned swimming session. However, she never arrived. I found a comment from the friend she was apparently supposed to meet, Shannon Clark. However, I cannot validate or verify this information. The comment reads, "I was the friend she was supposed to meet. I am speechless. I still remember waiting for her to come down to the pool. That was the last time my parents let me go to the pool alone. I was 6, turning 7 in September, and Nicole was 8. I remember you, Nicole." The circumstances of Nicole's disappearance remain haunting. Conflicting reports place her last sighting either entering an elevator or walking down the hallway before vanishing. Despite a prompt response from law enforcement, including extensive searches, community engagement, and a substantial reward, Nicole's whereabouts remained unknown. Childhood friend, Detective Constable Melissa Elishuk, reminisced about their carefree days together, highlighting Nicole's joyful nature. The disappearance prompted an exhaustive investigation involving thousands of leads and numerous interviews, yet yielded no breakthroughs. Despite the passage of time, the case remains active, with recent efforts, including digitization of records and following up on potential leads. The community's response was profound, with heightened vigilance among parents and a lasting impact on those who grew up alongside Nicole. Her father, Art, fervently hoped for closure in his lifetime, while Jeanette, who tragically passed away in 2007, held on to hope until the end.